people. Hello, hello. Welcome to this beautiful Friday. We're gonna talk business. We're gonna dive a little bit into why we don't take action in business. Why a lot of people want more from life. A lot of people want more from their bank accounts, right? But the question is, why are those results not there, right? So we're going to talk more about it. We're going to make some cool lists about the different types of businesses that one can open or start. I got the beautiful whiteboard, and we're going to break it down. We're going to have some fun and talk about money. Money, money, money. Here's why. All of us want more, right? Because here's the question. If you could be rich today, would you? I hope to God your answer is yes. There's a phenomenal book, The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace Wattles. I've been chatting or talking about it a lot lately because it literally says that God wants you to be rich because that's why he created all this stuff on earth. And when we are rich, then we can do his work and then show him off. And then the book also says that poverty is a disease. So anyway, with that said, why are we not starting businesses? Why are we not, let's see here, low network connection. I hope this works. Well, I'm going to keep going.
Blurry. Get the screen to focus.
I'm blurry?
Yeah.
I got my director in the background, Tammy Pope at TV, but it just says, it's saying low network connection. You guys bear with me. I want to make sure that this is coming across. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to, hang tight you guys, I'll be right back. I have an idea. Bam. Okie dokie, we are back and we're live. We're going to talk money. So here's bottom line. So most people want to start businesses because they want more things from life, right? So you got to figure out what it is you want. I know what I want. Tammy knows what she wants. You got to figure out what it is for you that you want to change. So basically, what do we have? We can have more money. We can have more assets. We can travel more. We can, better car. We can better house. Jewelry for the wife or the husband, whatever. Or maybe even just create that safety net for whatever future you want to create. So here are the options in business. Here's what happens. You can start, and I'm just going to go through a few different business models and what options we have as far as starting or inventing, right? So here's what happens. The first type of business that we all know about, it's just called traditional business, meaning brick and mortar. You have a store, a flower shop, a shoe store, whatever, right? Or it could just be, like a contractor. You could be a builder. You could be anything, right? Real estate. It's another type of where you got to have traditional stuff. So I'm going to say here traditional. And here, under the traditional world, it requires something called investment. It requires money to start. So I'm going to put here like, I don't know, $3, $4 signs. You go to Yelp review and you look at a restaurant and it says, like $80,000 signs because it's, like Spago or something crazy. So here, what else do we have in traditional business that requires for it to run, to operate, right? So it takes money, quite a bit of money to start, depending on what the business is. Then it's going to require some kind of an office. We'll call this brick and mortar, right? Because it could be an office, it could be a store, it could be just really anything, right? How about employees, right? Who is like crazy excited about having employees? Don't do it. Here's why. If you can find a business where you don't have employees and you can simply focus on profit, so think of whatever business you want to do and simplify it. Simple will make you money, complicated will cost you money. Just remember that. Simple makes you money, complicated costs you money. So we're going to keep going. Yeah? You can't read the whiteboard. Let me see. It's just blurry. I don't know why it's blurry, but hopefully it's better after we keep going. So you got employees. What else do you have? How about overhead? Overhead now means, like employees in office, that's part of overhead. But how about insurances, right? You got to have some kind of insurance, general liability for your store. Somebody slips and falls, right? So that's definitely a part of it. Maybe you got to have some kind of a license depending on what you're doing. In that, if you're doing a hair salon, you got to have a license from the cosmetology board. If you're a contractor, you got to have. My writing is showing backwards. Bro, this is hieroglyphics, man. That's so funny, it's showing backwards. I don't know how to make it go. I can write backwards, so it's forward for you. Well, we're just gonna keep going and see what happens. I don't know why it's backwards, but it's shown backwards online.
Because you're into the phone like this, right?
Right.
So turn the other way. I can
Yeah.
turn the other way and film you.
I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna
If
keep.
it's backwards and you can't see the whiteboard.
Okay, so let me try something else. Hold on, you guys. Nobody move. Bam. Okay, there's that.
Yeah.
Is that good?
Yeah, I'll fix it.
Well, yeah, but look at your screen to see if you can read it now.
Yeah. Yeah, you can.
It's good?
I just gotta adjust this. There you go.
All right. Huh?
Okay, now you
Can you guys read it now? Gene, how does it look, bro? Gene, you're a badass, by the way. This guy goes into the hospital last week, and all of a sudden, like, boom, bam, bam, he's out of the hospital, all better, kicking ass, taking names, and he's the boss. Cool, let's keep going. So in traditional business, I'm gonna sort of like make columns for you guys, just so you understand the different options you have out there when it comes to starting a business, right? Because remember, business typically is what can get us our freedom or just more from life, as opposed to having the four-letter word called a boss, right? If you love having a boss, you got to really question yourself as to why. Why do you love having a boss? There's security, yeah. There's safety net because technically that paycheck will be there Friday, whenever, right? That's why employees love Fridays, because it's like, man, I'm getting a paycheck, the weekend is here, now I can actually live my life. Because remember, when you're working for a boss, you're working for whom? You're working for them, you're working on their dreams, because the boss, trust me, he's doing what we're talking about here. He's doing his life. He's, go look at his house, right? Go look at his cars, go look at the jewelry on his wife, or her husband. You get the point, right? So it's a matter of, we're trading time for dollars, and we're trading time for either ourselves to get our freedom, or we're trading dollars for someone else called a boss, where, we're working on their dreams. Let's keep going. So traditional business comes with a lot of stuff. For example, depending on what the business is, you're gonna have inventory, right? Is the writing cool now? You guys can read it?
Yes.
Yes? And do you like my writing? Is it pretty? Just kidding. I don't care. This is what you get. You get me. So inventory. So listen, if you have, I mentioned flower shop. You got a flower shop, you're going to have inventory. You're going to have inventory that's good only for a few days. Then you're going to have stuff that doesn't sell. Who pays for that, right? You do, because you chose this business. Then inside the office or building, you're going to have electrical bill, you're going to have maybe gas, maybe telephone, Wi-Fi. So it comes with more stuff that falls into the overhead category. So how about now, you're gonna have, in traditional business, you're gonna pretty much need an attorney on standby at all times. So I'm gonna say legal and like accounting. You really wanna have a solid accountant, CPA, bookkeeper. So I'm gonna say here, I'm gonna call that numbers, because this sort of goes for any business that you do, the number side. If you don't know where the numbers are, you're screwed. Like, don't even start. You have to know numbers almost daily, like what's in the bank, what's coming in, accounts payable, accounts receivable. You gotta forecast sales. This here can make or break any business very fast. I've seen it. I've done it because I had to learn. Nobody taught me this shit. I just had to learn on my journey. So I think you get the point here, right? Traditional businesses, listen, most people go get loans to start a traditional business, because you start adding all this shit up, And how much money do you need to, go get an office lease, hire a couple of employees, even to hire one employee in California, or I don't know where you are in the world or in America, it's not cheap. Overhead. I told you guys, you got the electric bill, you have the accountant, you have the rent, insurances, etc., inventory. How about trucks? Maybe if you're some kind of a contractor in a service business out in the street here, you're going to have trucks. You've got to have a fleet of things that cost money. And then you let employees drive those things, which is even more risk, more liability. You get the point, right? And that's why you need a freaking attorney on staff ASAP. Anyway, so it comes with a lot of stuff. Basically, to start something like this, you're looking at, on a low end, maybe 30 grand. And again, that's just low, because just to be able to get this thing off the ground. And here's the other thing that people don't know because they haven't done it. Really figure out what's the starting cost is going to be, and then whatever the monthly nut, called the overhead, whatever that nut is, you got to have 6 months or more set aside, because guess what? Business does not pop on day one. And it's just a weird thing, but it just doesn't pop on day one. So really have support for yourself over the next 6, 9, 12 months. So this way you're not like, oh my God, I got to make the sale because I can't pay shit. So makes sense? So 30 grand, gosh, that's just low, but I'm just throwing it out there because is it possible? Sure. But most likely you're looking at $100,000 to $250,000 that you sort of have to have right here. So I'm going to put it here, basically $100K to $250,000 just to sort of launch the right business. You're going to have, we haven't even got into freaking marketing and advertising and, Facebook ads and whatever you're going to do, and build websites and all this, digital world now that we have here. This is pretty much what it really looks like to get going. So far, so good. If you guys got any questions, type them in. I'll answer them. Tammy's here. She's going to sort of like wave me down and I'll pop right back in. So this here, you either have this money or you have to go get it. Most likely you're going to go get a loan, right? And if you get a loan, guess what? There's now called something interesting that's called interest, right? So you're going to pay somebody money, you're going to pay money for their money to use in order to start your business. Cool or cool? Who's excited about right now getting a loan, going into debt to start a business that you hope to God is going to work? Who's excited about this? If you're excited about this, please call me, because I've done a lot of this shit, and there's a lot of exciting stuff here that I've learned a lot, and I want to sort of talk you out of it. I'm just kidding. If it's your dream to go here, God bless you. I could still guide and offer whatever support that I can from all the stuff that I've learned in my journey. It doesn't mean I'm right. It doesn't mean I know everything. I can just speak at things from my experience. So that was that. Here's another opportunity. In the traditional business, something was invented called a franchise. So there are companies like McDonald's and Subway, right? There's so many food franchises, and you have franchises also in the service world. There are many, many franchises, the auto industry. And here's what so for those of you that don't know what a franchise model is, it's basically a traditional business that somebody set up one day. And then they said, hey, what if I sell licensing rights to somebody that wants to own a business, but they don't necessarily want to handle all the branding, the creation, the advertising, the marketing. We'll just, we'll charge somebody $50,000, like Subway, I think today is still 50 grand, 50 to 75 grand to get a Subway license. But what happens now is this. So I'm going to go into the franchise model, right? So I'm going to say here, franchise. I hope you guys can see this because I'm writing bigger just for you. So in a franchise model, it's basically you stepping in and getting the rights, right? So you become the franchisee. Let's say $50,000. I think it's $50K still today for a Subway, but McDonald's, depending on the location, is this much money. And this will blow your mind. $1 million to $2 million just to get the freaking rights to sell horrible burgers that are full of, I'm not going to go there, but it's crap. But what's exciting is the franchisees make a ton of money off their investment. But here's what's exciting. And I'm being sarcastic when I say exciting. You drop $1 million to $2 million bucks, depending on where this is, or 50 grand for a Subway. You now, as the franchisee, because now you have the right to do all this stuff, you still got to pay for what's called the store, right? You got to pay for the build out. We'll call it the build. You got to pay for everything else that we talked about here. You're still going to have employees. You're still, you're going to have everything that we talked about here outside of, like, they're going to do for you the branding, the marketing, you know, some literature, training. Franchises are really good about trainings because it's all about systems. They're very good at that. What I'm showing you here is that you can buy a franchise for a ton of freaking money and then hope to God that you make it back, right? And they're a lot of work. You know, I know a few guys that own Subway, for example, and it's like, it wasn't all that cracked up to be. So you really got to own a lot of them to make a bigger spread over a few stores as opposed to just one in order to justify, like, yeah, I'm making money. Anyway, that's the franchise model. You know, whatever. We've thought of buying franchise in the past and then decided against it. Whatever. No specific reason. Just chose against it. Here's coffee to you guys. Happy Friday. It's too early for tequila. No, it's not. See, I take that back. It's not too early for tequila. Tequila time all the time. Okay, so what other types of businesses can we launch? You know, like real estate, of course, phenomenal business, but it's still on the traditional side, right? You can become a real estate agent, but is that really a business? Not sure, depending on how you structure it. If you become a broker and you have your office and all that stuff and you have agents under you, yep, that would be a business. And you could also, and again, as an agent, you could also do a business as an agent, but you're still talking about the traditional side because you're gonna have, you know, all the stuff that comes with it. So, what else we got? What are the businesses? Yeah, let's go online because today obviously we're in the digital space, so we're going to call it digital sales. Digital, we'll call it digital biz, right? So you can go to Shopify, you can do Amazon, right? You can do eBay, and on and on and on, etc., right? You get the point. So you can now go open up a Shopify store, and I think it takes like 3 minutes, and poof, you have a Shopify store. The question is, what are we selling? So when you're opening up one of these stores, what are you selling? And here are the options of what you can sell online. And again, there are thousands and thousands of products, but I'll just cover a few as to how to gain access to these products. So you got it, Shopify, Amazon, eBay, etc. etc. is a really cool new website. I'm just kidding. There's no etc. website. That just means etc. All right. So let's knock this out and say, okay, cool. So what can we sell on Amazon, eBay, Shopify? You open up a Shopify store. You can sell, I'm just going to call them products because literally it could be, you know, iPhone cases, headphones. If you want to do digital stuff, you can sell CBD, you can sell face cream, you can sell lotions, you can sell clothing. I mean, literally you can sell anything. The question is where to get these items. You can either find companies that have products that you like, call it, you know, clothing or a cream or, you know, makeup. Makeup is obviously a very hot trend. It always will be. So you can get products. I'm going to say products here. You can either buy somebody's products and sell. You can buy and then sell. So you are what's called the middle man or the middle woman, and you're simply, it's like brokering anything. So you're just simply making what's called a spread. You're making the profit between what you're, let's say you buy wholesale, sell retail, right? Just like real estate and anything else, buy low, sell high. That's how you make what's called here profit, right? So this is the thing that's going to change your life. Not this, not that. You don't really give a shit about that or that. You give a shit about this. How do I give more of that? How do I maximize my return? Cool or cool? Say cool. Cool. All right. So the other way to do this is And listen, here, there's a lot of work. This we've done. The only thing we haven't done so far is, that's not true. We did franchise. We did franchise. And we no longer are in that space because we're no longer there because we don't like it. But we did, I completely forgot. So far, we've done many traditional businesses, one franchise, bleh, and then, and listen, these are just my opinions, you guys. It's just me. You do what's good for you. And now on the digital business side, we've done this, we're doing this, we'll always do this. There's a lot of power in the digital space. It's just a matter of you figuring out what's good for you and how to do it all, right? So you can buy a product, sell a product, and you make the spread. You got to figure out what's good for you, what you want to focus on, how you buy low, sell high. And remember, for you to make a profit, remember, how did you buy this and what the cost factors are? What's the true cost? Just because you can buy a thing at $1 and sell it for 10, cool. But remember, there's still overhead, right? There's still stuff that might cost you to buy this. So what's the true cost of you buying? And then what's the true cost of you selling? Because listen, when you don't have that business experience, what happens is you're like, oh my God, I'm gonna buy it for $1 and sell it for 10. I'm making $9 profit. Bullshit. It is not the case. Don't let your mind think so. Because here's what happens out of experience and knowledge. There are costs to buy and there are costs to sell, right? And you're like, dude, how is there a cost to sell? Well, let's find out. We talked about Shopify, eBay, Amazon. Do they have fees for you to sell your stuff on their website? Yes, they do. How did you get the traffic to go to the eBay site or the Amazon site? How did you get that traffic? Well, you paid for it somehow. You did click advertising, SEO. Somehow you're paying for something to get these people to come to your thing to make a purchase. So with that said, right here, you got costs. So what the true profit is, this is the key. You really got to focus on this because, again, this doesn't matter, this doesn't matter, this matters. So, understood? Cool or cool?
Cool.
Say cool. All right. So online, there's a lot to do. You can also do what's called digital products. Just quickly, I'm going to cover it. Digital products. Write an ebook and sell it. Right? So, write an ebook. Boom, on whatever you think you're an expert at. It could be like if you're a nurse today and you're like, man, I'm really good at being a nurse, write a freaking ebook. Tell the world about it. Like, what is here are the 7 steps to becoming a successful RN. Boom. Do you know how many kids out of high school are like, I want to be an RN? Great, buy my book. You follow me? What does it cost to write an ebook? Nothing. You're typing it. It's your story. And then now you got to drive traffic to it. You got to sell it. So there's money there to invest in order to get people to buy. Cool or cool? So these are just some examples. I'm going to give you guys one more. There's another business model that Tammy and I have always done. So traditional, franchise, digital, have done them all. We'll always do traditional. I don't know about that. Different ways. We'll do traditional very different ways because we leverage everything out today. And then of course the digital space always be in it. We're actually blowing that up today more than ever. So let's go to something called what I love to call business in a box. It's something that Tammy and I, 19 years, we've always done. I'm going to call it business in a box, and here's why. Business in a box. It's called network marketing. For those of you that do not know network marketing, you're like, oh, what does that mean? Well, here's what it means. I'm just going to quickly give you guys a snapshot. In a business, in any kind of a business in the world, companies have marketing budgets, right? They have marketing dollars that they have to spend in order to bring traffic to their brand so people can buy their product, right? Cool or cool? Say cool. Oh, yeah, everybody say cool. Since that's the case, so Coca-Cola, McDonald's, they'll, TV ads, they'll sponsor events, billboards, product placement and movies and commercials, right on and on and on. So they're spending billions and trillions of dollars per year to get their message across to the potential client, to drive them to the brand so the client can spend $1 so they can now make what's called their profit. Cool or cool?
Cool.
Yay! Network marketing decided to do this. It's still a business. It's still owned by somebody. There's no difference. There's still a product or a service, right? So remember this in business. A business can only do one of two things. They can sell a product or a service. That's it. There's nothing else. I just gave you like the basic 101 in business. That right there should change your life. Cool or cool?
Cool.
Ooh. Network marketing came in and said, hey, we're not going to advertise. We're not going to go on the billboards, radio, TV stations, and commercials and all that stuff. Why would we give that money to these industries when we can take the same dollars and give them to people that simply want to be brand ambassadors? So if I want to talk about a brand and they pay me, count me in. But here's what's cool, because we talked about the pain of starting a traditional business. We talked about the franchise world. We talked about the digital space. This is the closest thing to the digital space that, that I hope to God that you appreciate. Because when network marketing took the marketing portion dollars and gave it to people, well, here's what's cool. The network marketing company, the business, right, above the whole thing, they did all the traditional business stuff already. They got the product or products or service. They got the building. They have the warehouse. They have the employees, the insurances, the marketing plan, the payouts, the legal system. They did all the heavy lifting. So, for example, Tammy and I wanted to go into CBD for about 4 years now. So we're like, hey, CBD, and we were watching it blow up by the day. And we're like, man, we got to get in. And we're like, okay, cool. How do we get in? So we actually had conversations and talked to people and started the process of, okay, cool. Do we buy land? Do we start farming? Grow our own hemp? Go through the process of creating CBD oils and CBD products. So once we ran all the numbers, we're like, shit, that's going to be $2 to $5 million just to do it right, and a couple of years before we can see what's called profit. So I'm like, heck no, I don't want to do that. Listen, I don't need the exercise, right? I don't need to do all that stuff because I've done it. I've done all that fun stuff. And fun means sarcastically, not fun. So what we said is, hey, we're CBD consumers, many miracles in our family and friends, and a lot of fixing of health issues because of CBD. So we thought, okay, cool, we love CBD, but how do we get into the CBD space in order to be able to make the profit without all the craziness? So here's where we now go back to what's called business in a box. So business in a box simply means that somebody did all the traditional business stuff for us. It's already done. So if you can step into a business in a box environment and simply just pick up the portion that gives you profit. So if they already did the product, they already did the research, they have, I got to figure out how to spell research. Remember, English is my third language. We figured it out last night. It's not my second, it's my third. It was Romanian and then Italian and then English. Okay, so they did the product, they did the research. They have the overhead covered. They have the legal, right? They have the employees. Oh, we forgot about taxes. Holy shnikes, Toledo Batman. Whoa! They got taxes, right? They're doing all that stuff, the stuff that's not fun. They're doing everything for us. This is why I call it business in a box, because what you're able to do in network marketing is put yourself in a position where you simply own a business that's willable, transferable, sellable, typically for under $1,000, right? So traditional business could go 30 grand to probably 250. This is just sort of a normal range, at least in my experience, depending on what you're opening. Franchise like Subway, 50 grand up to like 2 mil, and I'm sure there are higher ones, right? But these are the ones that I know about. In a McDonald's, things like 1 to 2 million, and it goes on and on and on. So what I'm suggesting here is, and why we love this business model, is because anybody can do it, and this is the magic. Anybody can do it. Anybody and everybody can come up with 5, 6, 8 $100, $1,000, whatever the buy-in is for a network marketing company. And what's nice, it's not an investment to where like this is your right to become a business owner, to become an affiliate, for example. You actually get product for your investment. So they do all the work, you step in, jump into this thing. Typically, every single network marketing company has what's called like a business opportunity fee. Like in the CBD business that we're in now, it's $20. Whoopee. And if you can't do that to change your life, holy shnikes, it's not for you. $20 to open up your own business. And that gets you a whole back office. You got pre-replicated websites. So all you got to do is open your mouth, send somebody a link. And if they purchase your products, not if, but when they purchase products through your portal, you make profit. So let's back this up. So let's call it a $600 buy-in. You're now a business owner. You send Mary your link, right? And I'm just giving you guys sort of a upper 50,000 feet system as to how it works, and it all works the same. Network marketing is network marketing. You send her a link, bam. Mary now buys your product or also chooses to become a business owner. Either way, when she buys, so follow the deal here, bam. She buys, you make money. So what did you really do? You talk to Mary, send her a link. You make profit. I don't know how I can drive this deep for you guys, but if you want more from life, we all do. You want the bigger this, the better car, vacation time, freedom. Maybe most people in America live, California, let alone, and the bigger cities. There's no time. I mean, we're literally captivated by this shit that we got to do, the job, you guys know. I don't need to preach because you know. But if you don't start a side hustle, if you don't start something different, nothing's going to change towards the better. Things get worse. As you've noticed, doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different outcome is what Albert Einstein called insanity. So, we cover traditional business, ton of money. As far as investment goes, a ton of headache to start it. Not fun, not recommended. We've done it. We're still gonna do it, just differently, because we love business. We covered the franchise model. It's exciting on certain levels, but then there's not so much fun inside of it as well. And then you have digital space. You can do anything on the digital space, Shopify, etc. It's still going to require investment. It's still going to require a lot of work. And then you have what's called business in a box. Start a side hustle. Figure out a way to get the things you want, because at the end of the day, look out, 10 years ago, if you started a side hustle 10 years ago, where would you be today? What are you going to say 10 years from now? And that's really what it's about, is making a decision for your life that you want something different, you want something better, much bigger, and you got to start. And action is what it's all about. I think that's it. Anything else I got to cover?
I think that's awesome.
That's it?
Yeah.
Well, you guys, what can I tell you? Go big, go home. No.
Go home. Go big or go home.
Big. Listen, let me tell you guys something. You don't have to be smart to do this. You just don't. Anyway, any questions you guys have, you know where to reach me, send me a private message. And the reason I'm doing this, just so you know, I get a lot of DMs asking questions like, hey, I want to start a business. I want to change my life. I want to do this. And there's a lot of fear. Like all these people that DM me and text me, it's literally just freaking fear because lack of knowledge. Like, what does it take to start a traditional business? I showed you. What does it take to do a franchise? Just showed you. There's a lot more details, but you get the point now, right? Like, how can I start a business? I'm scared out of my mind. I don't have a lot of money, but something's got to change. And this is the simplest of them all. Anybody, I don't care who you are, anybody can start a business for $600, get into one of the hottest trends in the world called CBD today, and you can make as much money as you want. This comp plan here has a maximum amount payout of $1 million per month. Who's excited? I'm excited. So my point is, $600 gets you as much money as you want, as much as you're willing to work for. I think you guys get the point. With that said, I'll talk to you guys very soon. And yes, this is my 3rd live ever. You're welcome. Peace out.